Welcome back to another video, my brothers. Eid Mubarak to any of you that are celebrating Eid. Hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you're enjoying your daytime coffees or teas, depending on whichever you prefer. But yeah, it's been a great weekend for me, and yeah, man, I wanted to jump on here and just share a few gems with you. Today I'm going to be talking about the mistakes to avoid on your self-improvement journey. So without any further delay, let's get into it. And by the way, if you're new here, my name is Ali, and I create self-improvement content specifically for men. So feel free to check out my channel, and if you like the message, if you like the videos, make sure you give them a like and subscribe down below for more content. So, mistakes to avoid on your self-improvement journey. Let's get into it. The first one is getting agitated when you don't see results quickly. You need to improve your relationship with time, fellas. I was having this conversation with a friend earlier today. People plant a seed today and expect the fruits tomorrow. You don't fucking deserve it tomorrow. Why? If you're 19 years old and you just started to learn about day trading, why on earth do you feel like you deserve to be a millionaire trader the next day? And that also shows that you're delusional. Because, for example, staying on trading, to even get to a point where you become a multiple seven-figure earner in trading, you need to have probably around 8 figures worth of capital, or let's say as a minimum 7 figures for you to be able to generate over 100k or 80k per month, okay, which translates to about $1 million a year. And you're not going to get to $1 million in funding, for example, overnight. It's going to take time. Let's use your body as an example, your physique. If you start eating well today, you're not going to look incredible tomorrow. Let's say you're overweight, or worse than that, let's say you're obese. You can't undo years of damage in 24 hours or in a week or in a month. Come on, man. Stop being fucking delusional. Shit takes time. And it's okay. Enjoy the process. And look, if you did a lot of damage to yourself, like eat yourself into a fucking huge body, if you got to a point where you're fat and you got tits, well, that is the consequence of your action or your actions over time. So if you're unhappy, well, deal with it, mate. Start working out, start eating a healthy diet, and over time you will undo the damage. Okay, but things take time. Stop expecting shit to happen immediately. Some of you guys need to fucking delete the Instagram app because you're so obsessed with what other people are doing. You keep looking over the fence. Oh, but he's got a Lambo and he's 21. Why is my Lambo? First of all, you don't know people's circumstances. You don't know if this person has a very wealthy father who sold a chemical company for $3 billion. And you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. You don't know if that money came illegally. So there's many factors that you are unaware of. Stop looking at what other people are doing. And remember, easy come, easy go. I would say that there probably is a small percentage of really, really young guys that are successful and make a lot of money. But they may have had a good couple of years. And maybe they splashed all their money on cars. And since their business has tanked. And now they no longer make that money. So you don't see the full picture is what I'm trying to say here. Okay? Things take time, and as long as you're improving every single day, fantastic. You will get there. And if it takes you a bit longer to get there, at least you know that once you finally get to a good position, you're more likely to be careful. When I say careful, I don't mean you're risk adverse, but what I mean is you're more sensible with how you invest your money. If you were given $1 million today, most of you guys who are 18, 19, 20, 21, you would probably spend most of the money. I mean, let's just keep it real, man. You'd start going out there buying cars you don't need. You'd start buying fancy watches and shit. Some of you would go through that money quick. So maybe it's a good thing that it doesn't happen overnight for you. That it takes 7 years. Okay? Because when you finally get the money, you'll be more careful with it. Because you know the sacrifice it took to get the money. Alright, so that's the first point. The second point is not having a clear, defined daily method of operation. A lot of you guys are waking up like a fucking accident. What am I going to do today? Let me check Instagram. And then you start scrolling through Instagram for 3 hours. And then you jump on the hub, you start jacking off all over yourself, bust a few nuts. And then you feel depressed, and then you go to sleep for an hour or two. And then you wake up, and then your friend's like, hey, do you want to meet up? And then you meet up with your friend, you play some video games together. I mean, you don't have a plan. And you and your friend might sit there and discuss ideas of what you want to do, but you don't pull the trigger. There's a big difference between talking about shit and actually following through. Walk the fucking talk, mate. But it's important to have a daily method of operation. Every single day in my journal, I write down what I intend to do. In fact, I do it the night before. So, for example, today is Saturday night. So today I'm going to write down what I intend on doing tomorrow, so that when I wake up the next day, God willing, I know what to do. I know what to attack. And I don't have a complex 30 list or 30 line to-do list, right? I only have 3 or 4 things that I must do every single day. And maybe the odd thing comes up that I don't normally do, and I write it down. Okay? And there are apps now where you can schedule your to-do list, but I prefer to write it on a piece of paper. Okay? I feel more serious when I do so. Okay? So you need to have a daily method of operation. Okay, in the morning, I'm going to do this. I'm going to read. Later on in the evening, I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. You have a plan. And this way you look forward to the next day as well. You're not like, oh, why am I still alive? You have something to live for. Tomorrow I'm going to do that. And then those days stack up, man. Those things that you do every single day, 3 or 4 things will add up. And over time, 6 months later, you'll be amazing in jiu-jitsu. Way further ahead than the average person who doesn't even know how to throw a fucking punch, let alone is excellent at jiu-jitsu or at boxing. It doesn't matter, right? This is just an example. For example, you start learning about trading today. And for those of you that don't know, I've released a day trading course. Details down below. But you start learning about the market. You start back testing. 6 months later, where could you be? Okay, so the little things will stack up. The things that you do every single day. All right? The next point is not tracking your progress. And this kind of ties into point number 2. But you can't grow what you don't measure. So I don't want you just to be engaging in action. I want you to review yourself. Okay, this didn't work. You know what? I've been going to the gym for the last couple of months. I'm not gaining muscle. Or for example, you're trying to lose weight and you realize, fucking hell, I'm not losing weight. That's why it's a good thing to measure yourself. I have a personal trainer who I still work with even though I'm in good shape. But I like the accountability, okay? I have a checkup with him every 2 weeks to assess my body fat composition, my muscle mass. I need to know where I'm at. For example, I just finished Ramadan right now, and I've maintained my muscle mass and my body fat percentage has gone up slightly. But it's important for me to understand that. Because if I just eat like a fucking dickhead every single day, I might be overeating. And this is what happened for many years. Because when I started working with my trainer back in November, I started off at 92 kg. 26% body fat. I was fat. Even though I was going to the gym and I thought I was doing well. All right, I'm eating a lot of protein, mate. Yeah, but when you actually assess your body, you realize, fuck, man, I'm actually overweight. I don't need to be carrying this much body fat. Okay? This is just an example. So review your performance. I back test the market. Even to this day, as a day trader, back testing is the equivalent of going to the gym as a day trader. What it means essentially is you go back in time and you trade the market from 2012, 2013, 2014, and you improve the way you look for positions. You improve the way you execute positions. Of course, it's only one thing that you could do. I mean, obviously trading the real market is different to trading the market back in the day because your psychology, you're more invested when you're trading live money. But it's still something that I highly recommend that traders do to refine their craft, to improve themselves. So when you're backtesting, you can see, right, I'm improving my performance here. I'm able to generate 8% a month consistently. I know how to look for setups. Okay, so you need to measure your progress. The next thing is being cheap and not wanting to invest money in yourself. Okay? Don't be a cheap bastard, man. If there's a way where you can improve yourself, improve yourself. You've got you for the rest of your life. Don't be cheap. I invest every single month into my fitness, into my health. Not just my gym membership. I'm talking about a trainer on top. If there's an opportunity for me to improve my communication skills, to improve my understanding in any area, I will invest. And I have done over the years. I've invested thousands into courses, into flying out to events, because I want to improve me. It doesn't go to waste. Stop thinking, oh, it's either I buy a PS5 or I buy a core. No, mate. Invest in you. Not all investments are equal. When I say that, I mean, you buying a PlayStation 5 right now ain't going to improve you. It doesn't make you money in any way. You might be better at playing FIFA because now you've got a PlayStation and you could play all the time. But does playing FIFA make you money? Probably no. You're not one of those YouTubers that has a cult-like following. And no. So improve yourself. And I'm not saying you can't have fun and you can't buy a PlayStation or you can't. No, you can do those things. It's nice to do those things. But if you're not where you want to be, man, you should be spending money on you, on bettering you. Okay? The next thing is feeling bad about setting boundaries with friends and family. This is something that isn't really talked about very much. When you want to elevate, you need to have a serious conversation with the people in your life, because there are going to be people that will slow you down unless you speak to them and tell them, hey, listen, I can't be available every week, guys. I want to, I want to see you and I want to have fun with you guys, but I've got a lot to do. And you say it in a respectful manner. I don't mean you block your friends out of the blue. No, don't be a dickhead. But, you got to tell your friends, guys, I can't be as available as I used to be, at least for the next 3 months. I'm going to be locked in. Obviously, with your family, you can tell them the same thing as well. I'm going to be busy between these hours. So unless it's urgent, let me just lock in. Let me focus. I can't go to as many family gatherings, for example, whatever. You make it clear to them. I've got things to do. You don't have to get into details, and I don't encourage you to get into details anyways, because you don't want people to shift your focus away or start critiquing what you're doing. As long as it's moral, legal, and ethical, of course, then go for it. If you want to learn about dropshipping, learn about dropshipping. If you want to learn about day trading, do that. Whatever it is that you want to do, man, lock in. And just tell those people, I can't be as available. I'm sorry. Tell your lady as well, if she's being a bit demanding with your time. Tell her, sweetheart, I love you and I care about you. And because I care about you, I'm going to have to be a little bit distant, over the next couple of weeks. I've got things to do. I don't mean you never speak to her. Of course, when you're in a relationship, it's different, especially if you're living together, right? You can't just not speak to her for 2 weeks. But what I mean is, you tell her, sweetheart, I'm going to be locked in. I care about us. I want us to have a great future. So there's going to be a lot of things that I need to do over the next couple of weeks or the next 3 months. Okay, and if she's supportive, she'll be like, baby, I've got you. I care about you. Obviously, I'll check up on you whenever I have the time. But smash it, darling, The next thing is not designating some time to relax and unwind. Look, as I preach the grind, I preach working hard. But it's also important to kick back and unwind from time to time. Okay, book a weekend trip away, or even a week. If you've been working so hard, man, and you launched your business and you've got the first £10,000 worth of sales locked in already, secured, man, go and treat yourself, man. Spend some of that money on you. Buy something nice, okay, because you've earned it. The key word is earned. If you haven't earned it, then why are you treating yourself? For example, with me for many years, I didn't want to go on holidays because I believed that I didn't earn it, man. I didn't earn this retreat. My life isn't where I want it to be. I'm struggling. There's a sense of guilt that follows me. So I've always had that mindset. You know what? I want to earn my breaks. But you see a lot of guys out there, they indulge in pleasure all the time. Even when they're broke, they're behind on their payments. They're behind on their promises. They still go out there and every week they're in a different country. Don't know how they do it because a lot of these guys are broke. But you get the point. They don't even have to be in another country. They can just be out all the time with their friends. It's like, mate, you're behind in life. But I've come to a point where I realize that, well, I have come to terms, shall I say, with the fact that most people aren't going to make it. That's just a reality, man. It's sad to say, but most guys will never be successful. They'll never know what could have been. They'll just live a mundane existence. And what bothers me is those that say they want more. Now, look, if you want to live a regular life where you work in a cafe, great. I'm not going to talk down to you. I'm not going to call you a piece of shit. Oh, you brokey. No, I'm not going to say that. But if you say that you want a great life and you've got so many great ideas, but you don't execute, you don't work hard, then I can't respect you. I'm sorry, man. Because you're an asshole. Asshole, meaning you ask for advice and you ask for support, but you don't do anything with it. You know, when I see you, you're still in the same position. You haven't done shit. And I used to be that guy back in the day. I used to be the kind of guy that would ask for advice and I want to launch this business. What do you think? And it's almost like I was waiting for permission from somebody. Like I was waiting for one of my friends to be like, Ali, go ahead. But then I got sick and tired, man, of the life that I was living. And I was like, this is unacceptable. Fuck this shit, man. I hate this. I want more. Khalas, man. How much longer am I going to be living a shit existence for? Waking up every single day, the same life, doing the same things. You know the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing again and again and again, expecting different outcomes. Nothing changes, fellas, if nothing changes. And last but not least, talking about your plans before they are in motion. And I just touched on this recently. The only way, or the only time, that I talk about what I'm doing is when I've actually got progress under my belt. You know, I used to talk about ideas that I had before I pulled the trigger on them. And I noticed that for some reason, it wouldn't really materialize. Nothing would happen. I got a false sense of achievement just by talking about the goal. I felt like I accomplished it almost. It feels good. I told my friends about the business idea that I have and, you know, what I intend on doing, and they validated my idea, and, you know, they gave me a pat on the back and you got this, champ, and I felt good. Because for a lot of guys, that's what they're wanting. They just want someone to validate that they have a dream. But they don't actually want to go out there and do the hard work to attain their dreams. Okay? I actually wanted to actually get real progress, numbers, metrics. I want to have something to look at and be like, damn, I've progressed. I don't like just getting validated for ideas, words. I want to be known as a guy who executes, as an action taker. Because action takers are money makers. Most guys, they just waffle. They talk shit. Oh, I want to start a business where I do this. And don't get me wrong, not all ideas will work out. But I respect a man that tries. At least he gave it a swing at bat. He didn't just talk and flap his fucking mouth. Okay? He's got battle scars. He can say, you know what, man, I gave this a shot, man. I saw investors. I did this, I did that. I went to so many different meetings. I respect a guy that is willing to get on the battlefield and not just look on the sidelines and read books about productivity and business ideas and the $100 million startup or the $100 startup or whatever, you know. Enough books, man. Actually pull the fucking trigger. See what could happen. It may work out for you, which is tremendous, or it may not work out the first time, the second time, third time. Some people get a break on the 14th time. Okay? So go out there, man, and don't talk about your idea until you've got some progress under your belt. Outside influences can throw you off. Someone might be like, oh, okay. And then they start executing the idea that you had. They start speaking to the people that you wanted to speak to, and they sabotage your potential idea. They take it off you. Because there are people like that. They don't have morals. You know? Or maybe they'll go to somebody, talk shit about you, and then when you go to that person to seek an investment, they're like, nah, I don't want to work with you. There are some weird people out there, man, that just don't want to see you prosper. So first of all, be careful who you speak to, but then also don't speak about your plans until you've got some good progress under your belt. Because then that makes you undeniable. You've got numbers to back it up, statistics. And you respect yourself. Because you're like, you know what? I've actually got shit to show for it. Your mum asks you, how's your business? This is how. It's doing all right. Okay? So hopefully this video has provided you with some value, guys. If it has, make sure you slam that like button down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. See you in the next one.